welcome back. So we have explored what is dark feminine and went deeply into understanding why it is so hard to claim your dark feminine, how historical events such as witch burning times have shaped contemporary perception of women's roles. And today we are going to get very practical. How do we get to our dark feminine and how do we really start to claim this side? So here is an overarching thing to understand, and this is a key from this lesson. Your dark feminine can be uncovered in your primal brain. You don't get what you think you want, you get what your primal brain is encoded to believe it's safe. So, working with your primal brain is one of the fastest routes to getting what you want on overturning long-term blockages and unhelpful patterns into something that you really desire. The question is, how do we access that primal brain that is so deep? On top, we have this neocortex part, our reasoning, logical, and judging part. Then comes limbic system that deals with memories, emotions, motivation, and arousal, how much energy activation you have. And only then comes the primal brain, or in other places it's called reptilian brain. It's your most primal part of your body and your nervous system. The reptilian brain controls the body's vital functions such as heart rate, breathing, body temperature, and balance. It also controls this fight or flight mechanism. It is the oldest system of the human brain. And to access and to heal at the primal level, it requires being connected to your body and sensations. A huge part of accessing and healing the primal brain is through ritual practices. Ritual practices, yes. This really deep, ancient, essential foundational part of your nervous system speaks in rituals. Your primal brain speaks in rituals, symbolism, images, colors. And just think about it, everything is connected. All of these rituals, symbols, it sounds pretty witchy. So, in essence, working with your primal brain is a big part to claim your witchy, your Kali archetype part. That's why sometimes someone could go to therapy for years and years and years and years and not get anywhere, and then go see shamanic healer in the jungle, and suddenly, boom, it's healed, it's solved. Because speaking to the primal brain is one of the most powerful ways to create transformations. Now, what is ritual? Aspects of ritual are creating intention. Intention is so important. It's about also making a space for deeper energies to arise and become present. These energies can be from energies of earth, energies of deities, or energies of natures. Speaking to this primal part also means speaking in mythological stories and archetypes. If you create a ritual for yourself that doesn't speak to you, it's going to lose a lot of its effectiveness because it's a relationship of your primal unconscious mind to the ritual. It's that alchemy that makes it super potent. One of the greatest secret to ritual, one of the greatest secret to magic is that anything can become ritualized if you switch on that intentionality and the connection to a deeper meaning within you, you are switching on that primal brain. And when you're speaking to your primal, everything becomes 1,000 times more powerful. Your primal brain is dictating your reality. And most people's limited reality is housed in their primal brain. Now, we will go much deeper into ritual on the final day. Now, I want to switch to the second aspect of working with the primal, and that is breathwork. Breathwork is like a key to unlocking this primal brain. By breathing in a specific way, with the open mouth connected breathing, you can tell your busy thinking brain, your neocortex, to take a break and invite this primal brain online. This lets you really tap into that primal part, bringing out feelings and instincts you might not know you had even. So one of the reasons I work with the breathwork so much and why it's so important as a portal is because most of the people use drugs if they want to enter in the primal trance flow state of the deeper unconscious mind. And it's one of the only ways that society really knows how to get there. People forget that they can access it by being sober. And so it's incredibly powerful to have access to this ability to transport yourself to a ritual primal space without needing anything external. Breathwork is very much the key to that. So the third piece of accessing primal brain is working with 5 senses. The 5 senses are a classical tantric way to bring the primal online, to activate, being very present to your taste, your hearing, your sense, your touch, your sense of smell is a portal into this primal ritualistic flow state experience. In Tantra and in yogic traditions, every single sense is correlated to a chakra, and every single chakra is correlated to a piece of the brain. So if you activate every single sense simultaneously, you're actually bringing online all parts of your brain. So it's both an amazing portal into the primal and an amazing portal into holistic transformation. The fourth piece of getting into the primal, the wild, is allowing archetypal experiences and expressions. So you got your everyday personality, but all of us have deep archetypes within us, and those archetypes comes out in our primal rituals. We've been given so many messages that you can be this or this, you could be wild or you could be good, you could be primal or you could be lovable. We have all these deep messages about who is okay to be and how it's not okay to be inside of us. But to fully accept primal experiences, it's about also working with fully accepting deep archetypal nature of our souls and making space, allowing those archetype essences to come out and play. We live from this space. I could be either a witch or I could have a successful relationship. If you have that belief, are you going to fully allow the which part of your archetype to come out if you really want a relationship? Probably not. So it's about finding these limiting beliefs inside of us that block the archetypal experience. If you're blocking the archetypal experience, you're also going to block your primal expression because they go hand in hand. And so, because so much of our expression of the primal has been demonized and shamed in society, people are also unconsciously blocking their experiences of wild and the primal. So learning to play with archetypes, it's really big piece of allowing the primal activate. Number 5, it's about telling a different story about allowing your primal and wild to be part of you. We have so many stories and messages about what is acceptable and what is not. They are so small and limiting. And having a different story about your dark feminine can be tremendously empowering. And so, really impacting dark feminine is about saying yes to a narrative that empowers you and sets you free. So, as long as you're operating from these limiting belief systems that feminine is like this, creating a box that's too small for you, then you are not be able to experience fullness of who you are. So the big piece of dark feminine is going in and getting curious who I am truly. What am I desiring? What do I really want? If I take off the cultural narrative and give myself the space to experience from the inside out, who and what is my dark feminine? And then choosing the narrative and choosing the structure that really suits you. So instead of saying like relationship has to be like this, what relationship suits who I am? Instead of saying sexuality has to be like this, what kind of sexual experience is true to me? It's so much more empowering to start from the inside and then create structure and narratives on the outside that suits and fulfills you. So it's really about tapping in and discovering and being curious, but then also knowing that you get to create and construct your dark feminine relationship and all kind of other things that suits you, that are unique to you, rather than trying to make yourself fit in the narratives that everyone else has given to you. Number 6 is a shadow work. I find shadow work to be the deepest key to fully claiming your whole feminine. Shadow self is any part of ourselves that we deny, repress, judge, shame, or reject. This can be a subpersonality, an identity, emotion, impulse, desire, or a collection of beliefs and thoughts. Your shadow self usually gets created often in a childhood, but it also can happen as an adult as well. So when there is some kind of threat that you are going to lose love, that you are going to be punished, that you will be judged, essentially that you won't belong or that you'll be unsafe if you exhibit this aspect of yourself, slowly over the time, you shut down that aspect of yourself and disconnect from it. And it goes all the way into your deep psyche, deep down, and becomes forgotten. But because it's a part of our wholeness and it's actually still inside of your nervous system, it never really gets forgotten. And it will re-emerge itself when given the chance as a part of your wisdom and intention to eventually heal and return to wholeness. So being also on this dark feminine challenge is about this inner urge. I can feel there is a part of me that is not showing up. And I really want to claim that part. So in most wisdom traditions, there is acknowledgement that we have to reclaim and integrate those shadows parts in order to feel whole and powerful. When we reclaim those aspects of our shadow selves, while it can be heavy and intense work, there is a tremendous amount of energy that starts to be released. So when you start to work with that shadow side, you actually start to liberate a lot of the energy that was going towards controlling and denying that part. And you can start to use that energy to start to live your dream life. This has also been demonstrated in the research. In the shadow work, when we start to consciously go into the body and experience our shadow pieces and then consciously bring them into our loving presence, things like shame, disgust, judgment, fear, we reach out with love, compassion, and even pleasure, and those pieces will start to integrate. As a result, we'll start to create integrated neural network where that experience no longer is disconnected, where that experience doesn't feel like we are controlled by it, triggered by it. It becomes so much more easier to manage. This, as a result, always will lead to ultimately choosing how we feel. We have this power to choose how we feel. And as a result, ultimately, it allows us to get our life back. This is such an amazing work. So there's actually evidence in research that the process of shadow work actually creates power within our nervous system to make deep and conscious choices in alignment with our truth. So after covering all of those 6 pieces that can help you to access your primal brain, I want to add that dark feminine doesn't mean that you don't have any boundaries or you don't have any rules that you give to yourself or you don't have guidelines or context or structure in your life. It means that you become very conscious about what is your inner truth beyond what have everyone else taught you to have, beyond what you have been taught. And that's true empowerment. Tomorrow we will go deeper into practical side. I will guide you into the practice that holds 3 elements what we discussed today to claim your dark feminine. We will start with creating ritual space, we will have a short press work, and we will call in the archetype to embody its essence. It's going to be so powerful. Make sure you find time to do this practice, and I see you tomorrow. So do you have any questions about the material I covered today? Use this time when you have access to me and ask any question about material, and I will make sure you get your answer. Use the form below or drop me an email.